couple of you asked me to come up with a few ways people on a budget could slay Zealots, since the usual required gear like unstable dragon armor with an aspect of the dragons is a bit expensive for some new players. I've come up with 3 cheap alternatives to this method that almost anyone can do. If you enjoy my content, remember to leave a like on the video, subscribe for daily Skyblock videos, and ring the notification bell for good luck. Check the description for all the goods, and join my Discord to stay up to date with the community. It's also a nice place to hang out. Thanks, and enjoy the video! Farming Zealots has been one of the best money-making methods since the end first came out. This is because each summoning eye sells for over 500,000 coins, and you can get between 2 and 3 an hour if you know what you're doing. Today I'll be going over 3 different methods you can use as a new player so you can kill these Zealots quicker and one-shot them so you can be the first person to get the summoning eyes. I will be wearing adaptive armor in this test because outside of dungeons it's similar to unstable dragon armor, which is a very cheap armor set that just about anyone can afford with like maybe an hour's worth of grinding. Getting into the first and very best method, I highly recommend using this method. If you're going to pick one of the 3 to use, please use this one. It is the best one. The other 2 are a little bit more of a stretch, while this one is guaranteed and works every time. For a pet, you would really want a damage pet. I recommend the Tiger pet or the Enderman pet. This is because it gives a large amount of crit damage and some strength, and the merciless swipe ability can make or break whether you one-shot a Zealot if you have not enough gear. While the Enderman just gives a bunch of crit damage and that's about it. The whole idea behind this method is using the end sword. The reason you want to use an end sword is because when you switch from one sword to another, you'll actually deal double damage to Endermen. This is because of the ability that says deal plus 100% damage to Ender Dragons, Endermen, and Endermites. Obviously, since we're attacking Endermen, this sword will deal double damage. If you check this out, if I hit an Enderman with my aspect at the end, I'll be dealing 22,000 damage, but if I swap to the end sword right before I attack, I'm dealing 49,000 damage. I'll get into a little bit more of how this works exactly. We are unsure if enchantments have a play on the end sword swap ability, but I would just recommend to be safe, get First Strike 4, Ender Slayer 5, and Sharpness 5 on your sword. This at least guarantees that it'll deal double damage. To get the very most out of this method, I would recommend you set your hotbar up like I have below with the end sword in your first slot and the aspect of the end in your second slot. This is so when you're running around and you see a Zealot, you can teleport up to it and then quickly sword swap to get the kill. You'll be able to perform this method off many times consistently as long as you practice and have your hotbar set up like shown, because it's so much easier to go from your second slot to your first slot like that than it is to go from, say, your 7th slot to your first slot and then have to like move your hand across your keyboard to press the 7th slot again to go back to your sword. So I would recommend aspect of the end in the second slot and the end sword in your first slot. For this method, I would recommend new players set their talismans and armor to try and get up to 80% crit chance, and then as much damage as possible. This is so they can drink a critical 3 potion, which is extremely cheap to make and anyone can afford it because it's just flint and then enchanted glowstone dust. This will give them the most damage possible while still being able to deal enough damage to one-shot the Zealots and crit every single time. If you're an overachiever and you're able to deal enough damage, try swapping out your boots for some farmer boots. This will give you some extra speed so you can run much faster. As you see, I got about 100 speed. Keep in mind the higher level you have in farming, the more these boots will help you out. But your damage will be significantly lower since you will not have your armor set bonus and you'll be missing out on wearing a piece of armor. But as you can see, I still deal enough damage. I'll run around and kind of show what this method looks like when you're using it in action. I've swapped over to my good gear, my superior dragon armor, just so I can have 100% crit chance while doing this because my talismans and gear are currently not optimized for that. So as you see, I'm just kind of running around, and when I see a Zealot, I teleport over to it and then I sword swap, just like this. And as you can see, I'm actually able to beat some of the young guys to it, assuming that I teleport correctly, and actually land near the Enderman. So this is what the thing looks like. Of course, these people in young armor are much better than us since they've been playing longer, so don't expect to get every single Enderman, but when you can, just sword swap, and then hit them. This next method is much more expensive, however it's still probably affordable for most of you, only costing about 1.5, maybe 2 million coins. This is still cheaper than using an aspect of the dragons and unstable armor. For this method, pick yourself up a set of skeleton soldier armor. This is because it increases your arrow damage by 5%, and when you have all 4 pieces, it increases it by an additional 25%. Next, make sure once again you have a really high damaging pet. Don't actually use a skeleton pet for this method. Despite what you think, it actually does significantly less for some reason. I don't really know. But I'm going to be using my rare tiger once again. And most importantly, pick yourself up an explosive bow from the auction house. It's about 500,000 coins, which makes it kind of expensive, but you should just be about able to afford it if you grind for a little tiny bit. Suddenly dragon? Well, that didn't go well now, did it? Anyways, reforge all of your talismans to forceful or silky. This is because with bows, you don't actually need crit chance at all. All you have to do to land a critical hit is draw the bow all the way back. So you can just spend all of your money reforging all of your talismans for maximum damage, and your armor should be fierce. If you can afford it, applying hot potato books to the explosive bow will make a huge difference in how much damage you are dealing. Here's what this method looks like in action. As you can see, I'm just kind of standing up top and I'm shooting down at the Enderman from this pillar right here, because this is one of the highest points on the map, and you can see the most Endermen. And as you can see, as long as I shoot somewhat near them, because of the explosive bow's ability to explode on impact, I can actually kill the Enderman from super far away. Just make sure you have your Zealot alert on so you know when one spawns. Then just look around you in the nearby area and you should see someone holding an eye. The final method I have to show you is really weird, but this is going to be using the Dreadlord sword and as much mana as possible. Pick yourself up a set of Wise or Necrotic if you can, crystal armor. Wear it in the end and stand around in this spot. Then, just right click your sword and it shoots pretty much a Wither Skull. However, there's no cooldown on it, so you can kind of just spam them. And what you want to do is just kind of go around here and just spam your Wither Skull, and it will pretty much just kill all the Endermen. Once again, I'd recommend using a tiger pet, or if you can, a sheep pet should do the job just fine. But as long as you kind of stay in the middle, you should have plenty of mana to run around and just do all of this. You can just shoot as many skulls as you want. And take out all the Zealots. So again, here's really what this looks like. You just run around and you spam your right click button when you see a Zealot, and then it just pretty much kills them almost instantly. And since you regenerate mana so fast with this armor, you don't have to worry about running out of mana. And you can also kind of just teleport with your aspect at the end over to more Zealots. And then just spam your sword some more and it will just kill them all. Kind of overpowered actually, wait. Alright, I take back what I said. This method is really overpowered because you have a 10% higher chance to get a summoning eye if you don't one-shot the Zealot. And since you kill this one just as fast as someone who does one-shot Zealots, this is going to be your go-to method if you're a beginner. If you can afford this setup, please do it. That just about covers it for today's video. If you enjoyed, please do leave a like on the video and subscribe if you find my content useful. I do upload Skyblock every single day and your support means the world to me. Since I am a smaller channel, it's a little bit harder for me to find new people that like to watch my content. So with everyone that clicks that red button, I get slightly more powerful. Anyways, thanks again for watching and have a great day. Take care.